Did you know that there is a difference between decluttering, tidying, and cleaning? If you have been living a life thinking that they are all the same, that's totally fine. However, today I'm going to actually break down the differences between them and why it's helpful to know them.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
All right, so before we get too far, I have to say if you're listening to this in real time, happy Thanksgiving. I recorded this episode ahead of time, so I am not actually recording this on Thanksgiving. So you can be rest assured I am spending time with family that is so needed. And I am hoping that you are having a great time, whatever you're doing, whenever you're listening to this. And I just have to say thank you so much for being here, whether you are a new listener or you've been here for a while. We've been doing this for over 2 years now, which is absolutely insane. But I am so thankful every day because I truly enjoy doing this. And every time I get feedback, whether it's in our Facebook community or through email or through reviews, whatever you are doing to reach out and tell me what you're enjoying about the show and how it's made a difference in your life has been so amazing. And I have to say, like, I have been very, very blessed that I know a lot of people that are online get a lot of criticism and they get a lot of kind of those hate comments. And I have not had that. And I just have to say, I am incredibly thankful because that would be kind of hard. And I know it comes with the territory, but it does bring you down a little bit. And I haven't had that. So I feel very, very blessed. And I just have to say thank you for being an incredible listener. And thanks for being here. And I hope that my podcast is making a difference for you, or at least you are enjoying listening to it. So I just have to say, I truly do appreciate you. Now, as we go into our episode, I wanted to talk about decluttering versus tidying versus cleaning because we might feel like we maybe know the difference, or we might think that they're all kind of the same thing because you're always, doing something with your house. And do we really even need to know the differences between them? And while you don't have to know the differences, it is helpful to know the differences because how you build your routines might play a role in which of these tasks you're doing at that time. And if you are struggling to build your home routine or any of your tidying habits and things like that, you might find that this is the breakdown that you need to understand the differences and make those routines easier for you. Now, before we go through this, I do have to have a little disclaimer here that these are my opinions. I did not look this up in a dictionary or look it up online. Other people might have a different description on what they think it is, but the way that I build my routines and the way that I talk in this podcast, this is the breakdown of my thoughts and my opinions on what I believe the differences are and how I build the routines around those different things. So it might just be helpful if you're listening to this podcast regularly. So one is decluttering. Decluttering is getting rid of items. So you can think of this as if you're walking into a room and you see a lot of items, decluttering is getting rid of a lot of the unnecessary items or just excess of items to simplify a space. So when you are looking at a room, if you're getting rid of anything and simplifying the space, you are decluttering. Second is tidying. And when you are tidying, you are straightening the space and you are making it look visually appealing. So when you are doing this, you're not necessarily removing any items from the space and taking it out, which would be the decluttering portion. You're actually just straightening things and making it look nice and tidy. And then you have cleaning, which is the third, and that is where you're actually getting rid of dirt and germs and grime, and you are cleaning the space. or item or whatever it is you're working on. So those are the that's the breakdown of those three different things and how I see them. So when you're building routines, this is why you want to know that because it might affect how you build routines because you might build them differently based on the different types of these three categories depending on what you're trying to accomplish in your house. So, for instance, if you are looking at decluttering, this is generally task focused, where it could be a habit, it could be a routine. This could be something like your 10-minute declutter hunts. It could be focused task time to declutter a space. Maybe you are doing a full hour block to declutter the guest room, like whatever that looks like. It could also be creating a habit to clear things anytime you see them. So as you're walking by a bookshelf, you just automatically see it. You don't have to carve out a ton of time to clear off that bookshelf, but maybe you see a couple of items that you know are not supposed to be there anymore or you don't need them anymore. And you just grab a handful of items, you either toss them in the trash or you toss them in your donation bin and you're done. And it takes 2 seconds to just go through, grab them, and you are making it a habit to consistently declutter. When you see it, you just take care of it and it doesn't become a big thing. So, depending on how you want to approach decluttering, this could be a habit or a routine. Tidying is the same. Any of these could be habits or routines depending on how you look at them, but tidying is also something like a daily habit, like maybe it's straightening the couch pillows and folding the blanket after you get done with a movie. You're not just leaving it there to have to take care of later because then all of the things that you need to do start to build up. By keeping a tidying habit, you are basically picking up after yourself as you go through your day, and it makes a less it makes things easier, I should say. It makes things easier later on because you're gonna have a lot less to do when you make it a habit to just pick up after yourself as you go and move about your day. So, doing something like this and making it a habit is going to make all of your other routines, like anything with decluttering, anything with your daily 7 home routine, anything like that, it's going to make it so much easier because you're starting with a room that is already tidy. You might just need to do some deeper cleaning or some decluttering, but the room itself is tidy because it still looks visually appealing because you've been picking up after yourself. So then we move to cleaning. And this is where it could be a habit, like wiping down the kitchen counters when you're resetting the kitchen after a meal or a snack, or it could be some type of routine like your daily 7 home routine. When you are cleaning during your daily 7 home routine, it might look like wiping down the bathroom or vacuuming the floors. That is where you are getting rid of the dirt and the germs and the yucky stuff. If you are doing deeper cleaning, that might be part of your annual task list routine where you're pulling those 2 to 3 priority items to focus on during the week. And these are typically more of the cleaning aspect, rather, you wouldn't be pulling an item from your annual task list to tidy because you're probably cleaning it or decluttering it. So this could be something bigger like washing windows or wiping down ceiling fans or doing those bigger tasks to clean when it comes to a routine like your annual task list. So that is where you really break these things down and it makes it easier to think about what you're trying to accomplish when you're building the routine or you're trying to build a habit. And when you are focusing on, for example, your daily 7 home routine, if you're trying to tidy everything and clean everything and declutter at the same time during your daily 7 home routine, it's going to feel like it's way more work than it should. If you build in the habits to keep your home tidy, as you are building daily habits to go about your day and straighten everything after yourself. And this is also applies to your family members. It's teaching everybody in the household to really straighten things and pick up after themselves as you go through. That is the tidying aspect. And then having these regular declutter times, whether you pull it in as a habit or you do these 10-minute declutter hunts or you do a focused block of time to go through and declutter and get rid of stuff. To simplify the space, it's going to be easier to tidy and keep clean and keep visually appealing. Then, when you get to your daily 7 home routine, you can really focus on just pulling those 7 tasks to clean. And it's going to go way faster. You're going to feel like you can reset your home much quicker And that is what is helpful when you know the difference between decluttering, tidying, and cleaning. So I hope that this was helpful for you just to kind of break it down and talk things through. If you want more resources, I would love for you to visit my website. You can go to reneematt.com. You can find ways to leave a review there. You can join our Facebook community from there. You can grab my workbook, your Organized Life Blueprint. You can grab the free Audit Your Gut Habits guide. You can do a lot of different things on there, and you can see my resources and click the links for different things that I recommend in there. It's kind of the centralized hub of anything you can find related to this podcast or my business. So I would love to have you check it out. It's reneematt.com. And a quick recap of the kind of breakdown of these three areas or three categories is decluttering is number one. This is getting rid of the items and simplifying a space. Two is tidying. This is straightening the space and making it look visually appealing. And then number three is cleaning. And this is where you're actually getting rid of the dirt and the germs and the grime, and you are cleaning the space. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Thank you for being here. I super appreciate you, and I will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.